Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, including Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Ruby, and Rick and Morty. I'm your main host, Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hello.
And Sam Quattro.
Hello.
Today we'll be discussing the latest from Studio Ghibli, When Marnie Was There. Recently came out dubbed in the United States. And Studio Ghibli's apparently last theatrical release. Although we'll see about that. They've said that before. Yeah, you can find, if you're new to this podcast, it's only our third one, you can find all the information at overlyanimated.com. Spoilers for When Marnie Was There throughout this review and discussion, but let's get right into it. I think we all saw this movie subbed with subtitles, correct?
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. So,
job.
Unfortunately, we can't comment on the quality of the dub, although
I really like the trailer for the dub. Makes me want to see the dub.
I mean, Haley Steinfeld and Kiernan Shipka are the two main roles, and they're both great. So I assume the dub is wonderful, and I look forward to seeing it again dubbed. But for now, we'll be commenting on the quality of the subtitled version. In terms of dub versus sub, maybe we'll do a special podcast on this at some point. With Miyazaki/Ghibli movies, I'm always of the opinion that you should probably see them dubbed, because they generally have very high quality dubs, although they did change the company releasing them in the United States. Anyway, we'll just be commenting on the subs for now. Let's get right into it. Sam, what are your general thoughts on When Marnie Was There?
I enjoyed it. I think it was sort of the, I don't know, I think it's one of the Ghibli movies that won't get that much attention. Sort of like akin to like Only Yesterday, or, I don't know, like, just like in classic Ghibli style, like there's nothing that really happens in this movie, it's just like a character movie, which I liked, but though it was frustrating at times.
Because it was too slow?
It was too slow, and I was wondering what the point to it all. Except, I think there was a point.
Yeah.
But...
And in terms of recognition, it is an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, although not too many reviews. Comparing it to Only Yesterday is interesting. That movie is very old. So that's more of a question of...
It's very old, yes.
Recognition in the United States is like, that one just didn't originally come out here when it was out, whereas this one is being released right away. But yeah, I see what you mean. It's not going to make as big of a splash. Delaney, what do you think of the movie?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm very new to like watching Studio Ghibli movies and things, so it's like I really enjoyed it. Well, it's interesting, like kind of the reasons Sam, you didn't dislike it, but the reasons like you pointed out, it wasn't necessarily like amazing or whatever. Like that's why I liked the movie. Like and I haven't seen that many. Like I'm working my way through watching more Studio Ghibli movies, but this one actually might be my favorite at the moment. Like a lot of them I'm watching and I'm watching this because I know it's good, but I'm like having a real struggle getting to the end of this movie. But this one I just was completely interested the entire time, and I really enjoyed I really like the character movie aspect of it, and it really kept my interest, and I really enjoyed it.
I think or maybe it's like more akin to From Up on Poppy Hill, and that like there isn't like there is like a fantastical element to it, but like it's very subtle, and other than that, it's just like a normal, slice of life movie.
Yeah. This is your
really action.
I think this is a typical Ghibli movie. It's mostly quiet slice of life with a fantasy element, akin to Arrietty or Up on Poppy Hill. I think Up on Poppy Hill didn't have any fantasy
elements.
Didn't.
Yeah. It did not have.
But that's the one I think is most similar to this one. Only Yesterday is another good comparison.
Very similar. Yes.
Maybe the best comparison is Whisper of the Heart, which is the same quiet with a fantasy element, but that one's within a story. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of When Marnie Was There. This movie is like directly for me. Slice of life, female leads, like. Just very, very quiet and gorgeous movie. Not everyone's gonna love it. I think you'd be hard pressed to find people that hate it, but I do love it. I think it's incredibly wonderful. We reviewed Inside Out in our first podcast. I think this is like head and shoulders above Inside Out. It's just so like enchanting, and the characterization is wonderful. The main character, I don't know, do they say Anna or Anna in the movie? I don't even remember.
Probably Anna.
I think Anna. Yeah, I wonder if they kept that for the dub. Not sure. But Anna's characterization is incredible, and I also love Marnie, and I love their relationship throughout the movie. And we're certainly going to discuss that. There's not, in terms of events in the movie, there's not too much to discuss, so I anticipate a shorter podcast, but it's just magical. It's incredibly gorgeous. The scenery, typical Studio Ghibli, is wonderful. And it's, like, looks hand-drawn regardless of whether it is or not anymore. I think it probably still is, but Ghibli has moved digital, as of 10 years ago. But
I knew I was saying it wrong.
Yeah,
Darn it.
Ghibli, not Ghibli.
Ghibli, yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. And yeah, I would highly recommend this to anyone. It's gorgeous. It's great characterization and writing, and it's progressive in terms of the leads are female, and there's arguably a queer romance within the movie. Although you'll find all three of us arguing in favor of that, that's probably our main discussion topic right now. So to me, I don't know. The biggest thing that stands out is, one, getting into specifics. One is Anna's character, and two is Anna and Marnie's romance, basically throughout the movie. Would you agree those are the two most interesting elements of this?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, so to me, Anna's just incredibly relatable. She's like melancholy throughout the entire movie. She's trying to find like meaning in kind of being in this new place, or just life in general. And she gets like enchanted by this mansion or whatever, and she meets Marnie and kind of falls in love with her.
And she's adorable.
And she's incredibly adorable, yeah.
Like, a lot of movies like this, like, I won't say like this, but, like, they kind of have, like, this beginning plot point, or, like, this kind of character. It's like, I'm really annoyed with this already. Like, I'm done with this. This isn't realistic. But it's like, Anna, you're me. Like, this is great. Like, it's just so, like, it's, like, I was shocked by how, like, relatable it was. And, like, how precious, even when she does things that are like, no, why did you do that? It's like, I still love you. You're adorable and precious. And I understand why you did this.
Yeah, even when she lashes out at the other girl, yeah. It's still like, no, Anna, yeah.
Which I laughed, which wasn't the proper response. But that's what I did.
I think I probably laughed, too. I laugh at those types of things.
Wow.
Because I was so shocked.
Sounds like, wow, look at these bad people. I guess, okay, looking back, the scenes that stick out to me specifically are the party with Anna and Marnie when they dance at the mansion, and then I think there's probably a scene of them rowing in the boat where they say they love each other. It's not like I love you, I love you, but it's like less forced than that, Yeah. I think it always seems very natural. So, okay, let's discuss whether this is a romantic relationship or a platonic relationship.
Oh, and the teaching how to row.
Yeah, I think that's what I don't. Maybe that was a separate one too. It's been
they're two different scenes.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's the thing. It all kind of blends together with these types of things because there's no distinct events. But so if you look for reviews of this movie, I bet you'll be hard pressed to find literally anyone that describes Marnie and Anna's relationship as romantic, and to me that's just baffling, right? It's very apparent that Anna has very strong feelings for Marnie. That doesn't have to be romantic, but they literally say love at some point. I believe Anna describes Marnie that way, or Marnie to Anna, and they say the Japanese word for romantic love, like aishitaru or something like that. This would be when having Ali on would be helpful, but it's not like the like word. My limited Japanese knows that. And like, even when we get to the weird parts at the end with the twist, I think that actually reinforces this rather than question it, because turns out, well, Marnie is Anna's grandmother, right? So this complicates things. However, I think if you look at it that way, I think you're maybe seeing the movie wrong. Like, first of all, here's the thing. This twist makes no sense, right? Like, even from a fantasy perspective, like, there's no logical sense to what happens throughout any part of this movie. And normally I hate that. Like, I need established mythology before I get into fantasy elements, and this This movie like doesn't establish any fantasy mythology. It just sets about a fantasy element and never explains it. The explanation is like a revelation that furthers.
The girl
that.
having asthmatic hallucinations.
Is she hallucinating? Is this in her? Like, is this Marnie?
I don't know if
reading-
people with asthma hallucinate, but they probably don't because that's like a lung thing. But
yeah, I don't think those would. Be
I mean, the lack of air, like this was just what happened when she had her really bad asthma attack. Like she didn't have enough oxygen. She had this delusion, and then she never actually left.
It doesn't make sense, but I think it's still. I don't think it takes away from like the poignancy of whatever happens. It's like, oh, maybe this is inside Anna's head, but then how does she know all these things which she doesn't know, right? But it doesn't matter. So yeah, turns out Marnie's Anna's grandmother, but I believe within the context of what actually happens, this reinforces the romantic relationship, because basically what's going on is Anna is living Marnie's past, really, when Marnie was a child, except Anna is taking the place of Marnie's male childhood friend, who she goes on to marry. So, like, that to me is the indisputable proof right here. Anna is Marnie's love interest in her past. He's taking his place, right? That's just like...
So Anna's her own grandpa.
Yes, basically. Yes. It doesn't, like, yes, that doesn't make sense, but that's what happened. That's what the movie is saying at the end. We're replaying back Marnie's previous experiences within that, within the mansion, and Marnie is, Anna is Marnie's friend instead of, I forget the guy's name. They have it in here, though. Kazuko? Okay, yeah.
Kazuko, yes.
Instead of Kazuko. So that's just what happened. And, like, I don't know, thoughts on this?
I think that the movie just pulls like a giant no homo with that. It's like, oh, here's like this cool relationship that is, you know, pretty much romantic, but oh, it's grandma. Sorry, guys.
So like on one hand, yeah, they're kind of like doing that. I'm not sure if they're intentionally trying to pull a, you know, as you say, no homo, but
yeah.
It maybe seems like that to some people, but at the
maybe like in the audience mind,
certainly for a lot of people with, especially with the heteronormative perspective on things. But
also, you know, incest.
Yeah, but again, though, it's not actually happening. That's the thing with this twist. But at the same time, the grandma revelation also means what I just said, though, that Anna's is Marnie's love interest. That's what it's saying too. So those are like both tied into the twist at the end. So you could read it as no, this wasn't actually romantic by the grandma twist, or you could read it as reinforcing of that, I think.
Well, it's like, I think, like, I finished it, and of course, I was messaging Dylan the entire time this was happening, and I was like, wow, like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is, like, the most, like, wow, they're so romantic, it's ridiculous. And, like, I got to the end of it, and I was like, that was really romantic, but I think I get, like, what they were trying to make it be, or, like, how it was, like, for me, I took this... I mean, it's pretty obvious to me. I could be wrong. I took this film like this is about depression. Like, she's depressed, and this is what this is. And also dealing with her feelings about abandonment with her grandmother, and, like, she didn't even know she was upset about her grandmother, and, like, that kind of thing. And then, so you get to the end, and it's talking about how much she loved her grandmother, and, like, coming to terms with that. And, like, but she had to do it through, like, this weird imaginary friend way. But by that same, like, so that's what they were going for. Like, this is about her love for her grandmother, blah, 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 blah. But then, like, that's not what the movie, like... I'm with you guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know if it was about her love for her grandmother. Like, did she even know that her grandmother existed before she read about her at the end?
Well, my thing is, like, it was, like, kind of flashes. I don't know. Like, one, that's all very vague about the grandmother thing. But, I don't know. I felt like she, like, knew somehow. Like, we got flashes before about, like, with the funeral and things.
Yeah, it's possible.
So I think, like, but granted, there's also, like, she, like, you can be upset and then not know what you're upset about, and that kind of thing. But I do feel like she knew that was her grandma, but she didn't, I don't know. Maybe the name thing, I don't know. There's a lot of weird going on.
I mean, you saw it most recently. Sam, do you any thoughts on that part? Like, I don't remember.
No, I don't have any thoughts.
So in terms of it being about depression, I could see that. I think I would maybe categorize it more as like the melancholy of just existence rather than specifically depression. But
how existential is
I know that's kind of what this movie is. But like, and I also wanted to point out that not point out, but I would say that this being, even though I interpret this as a romance, and I think it's kind of kind of not dumb, but I just feel like you're missing it if you don't interpret it that way. Even though it's that is true, the romance isn't the important part. It's the bond in general between Marnie and Anna, and this is such a Ghibli thing. It's like to have it just be the bond between two people, not specifically the romance be important. But it doesn't mean the romance isn't there. It's just that their relationship in general, whatever form, in this case, it happened to take the form of a romantic relationship, be important. And of course, it's like, why is this a romantic relationship? Do they kiss or do they do anything? First of all, Ghibli characters never kiss, number one. Two,
don't.
Except like 2 instances, right? I haven't updated this discussion point in my head for recent movies, but before it was like only I'm blanking on the names.
Mononoke.
I don't think they kiss in Mononoke. I'm not
I feel like they do.
It was only Howl's Moving Castle and like one before it, kind of. But anyway, they never kiss, and also it's like the beginnings of it and then explorations, and that's also a part of a romantic relationship, even if it's not taking a blatant form yet. This is like the Kurosami of the stages of the relationship, right? It's like kind of the same beginning parts. And anyway, regardless of that, it's more about their bond and friendship and how they're like making each other happy and about how human interactions give like meaning to life or whatever. I'm not sure if they're going specifically for that, but that's certainly a way to read it.
Wow.
Yeah.
How deep?
All through this 12-year-old girl and her imaginary friends. When I first saw the trailer for this movie like a year ago, I was like very convinced Marnie was a ghost. That's what and
yeah, me too.
And then I had no idea what was.
Well, she technically is a ghost.
I don't know. Is she a ghost? I didn't.
She's like possessing her diary and like bringing Anna onto these wonderful adventures with Anna as like her grandpa. I don't know.
That's a way to read it. No, you could read like maybe she's a spirit, maybe Anna's flashing back. It doesn't make sense. That's the thing. So what do you think?
It's actually a book. Like they adapted it from a book, and I'm kind of interested to read the book to see what is happening here.
Yeah. Ghibli's done this before, adapt from
Howl's Moving Castle
from books, and like Arrietty too, and stuff like that. Despite the ending making no sense, I found the ending to be very emotional. I didn't know the twist. I think we kind of ruined it for Delaney when she watched, but
I knew the twist.
You knew the twist? Okay, I didn't know the twist.
I read the Wikipedia summaries for everything.
Okay, that's a very annoying habit. I didn't know that this was going to happen, and I found it to be very moving and meaningful, despite the fact that it actually means nothing, like in a literal sense. But I found this to be meaningful for Anna on her character and finding acceptance with like her life situation and stuff like that, and also giving meaning to the past. Her past, friendship that we saw play out on the screen, relationship / gal pals that that
gal pals.
Yeah, there you go. That
pals being pals.
Yeah, it's just that. That's all it was. And I found it to give meaning to that too, which turns out, that must be, right? So she goes through this, and then it turns out that it's not real. Like if we didn't if by giving it meaning at the end, it gives it significance, even though it's got to be like distraught, the noun verb of whatever, like disturbing, but with distraught in there, for her to have experienced this and then it not be like a real thing, right? So I don't know. I found the ending to tie that all together really well in just a really weird way. Maybe weirder than this has got to be one of the weirder ending twists to any movie.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't even think of anything. Like obviously there's like disturbing like stuff and like. This is also like a slice of life movie, and we get this just incredibly odd plot development at the end. I don't know.
I think this would make an interesting play.
Yeah, that is kind of like a play. Yeah. I could see that too. What did you think of the ending, Sam? Did it make you feel?
I don't remember.
Probably.
I don't know. I thought it was very strange, and I felt kind of let down by thinking like, oh.
In what way?
Family. Ugh.
Oh, because you were invested in their romantic relationship, and that's like, their family.
Yeah, I hate family.
Yeah, and how I turned it. Yeah, and we already talked about how you read it like that, and I kind of read it as a confirming of it. And I think they're both kind of. I mean, it doesn't make sense, so you can kind of read it how you want. Delaney, what did you think of the ending?
Sappy stuff.
Yeah.
About, like, how, foster mom, she cares. Blah, 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 blah.
Yawn. Delaney, how about you?
Well, I'm still not. I don't really know if y'all like ruined it for me, but like, okay, can we tell them what the hint was that you guys kept putting?
Sam has designated this movie "gay for grandma," so that kind of gives away the entire movie.
Yes, like I kept getting this, and I'm like, okay, and then I'm like, and so I was watching it, and obviously I was like, okay, that's her grandma, but at the same time, like, there were hints there that you could like that they were connected somehow in like a weird way, because like they focus on like the foreigner thing, like they say that several times. They're like, a foreigner lived in that house, and they also make a comment on his appearance, and I was like, okay, this isn't that hard to like piece together. They're connected somehow in a weird way.
Maybe they're soulmates.
Maybe
in a mystical sort of anachronistic way.
No, let me think about this. Like Kazuko, right? He's like Marnie's soulmate, like, but then he dies, and then a couple.
Oh, and then he reincarnates.
Yeah.
Reincarnations later, he becomes Anna. Oh, there you go.
That could be a thing.
Soulmates.
We're getting into Avatar.
That's
love,
like this.
Love transcending lifetimes. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. That's the explanation.
Yes, that's it. We figured it out. But like, I really like. I don't know. Like, so like, I obviously wasn't shocked. Like, I knew this was gonna happen. Like, I was like, okay. And then I did, and like I was still watching it, enjoying it, and being like, "Wow, like this is ridiculous." Like they're like, "Why are they so in love? This is weird." And then, but then, even then, it wasn't like that was weird that I was watching. It wasn't weird that like that it was until because I would forget. I was like, "Oh right, they're related," but then like they're not because they're. I mean, whatever the fantasy element is, the reincarnation thing that we figured out just now, but. Like, I don't know, I really, like, the ending for me, like, especially, I'm, like, the anniversary of my grandmother's death is coming up, and I was really close to my grandmother and all this, and, like, I don't know, like, this movie really, like, touched me, and, like, I really enjoyed, like, just the resolution of it all, and then, like, the foster mom, like, I don't know, it was just nice, and, like, just to see how Anna had come, and, like, I don't know, like, it touched me a lot, and, like, I really enjoyed, like, deep personal connection to this film, and I really enjoyed it.
That's cool. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that transitions to overall thoughts on the movie and comparison. So yeah, you'd say you really liked it. How much did you like it compared to? I don't know. You don't watch haven't seen many other Ghibli movies, but maybe other animated movies you've seen.
I mean, it's definitely up there. I mean, out of other Studio Ghibli films that I've seen, which I haven't seen that many. Like I've seen like Spirited Away, Ponyo. What the other one I watched the other day that I can't remember.
The other one I watched the other day.
The other one. I have like 4 of them are on my desk right now, and I've watched 2 of them. And I only remember Ponyo right now because that was the one like Grave of the Fireflies, which I'm not going to talk about.
Yeah, don't talk about that.
That's very sad.
Did you watch? So you watched Ponyo? Did you like this better than Ponyo?
Yes.
Okay, good. That is a good opinion.
I mean, like Ponyo was cute, but I was like. Is this movie... Okay, no, Ponyo was one of the few movies I was like, okay, I'm not like, is this movie over yet? Like, I was with Spirited Away. Granted, I like Spirited Away, but I was like, is this movie ever going to end?
Well, yeah, that's quite a long one. You'll find all the Miyazaki ones are 2.5 hours, yeah.
I was just like, oh my god. But, I really, like, out of all of them that I've watched so far, this one is my favorite.
Cool. Okay. And feel
really
free to give it a rating out of 10 very quickly if you would like, but we are not forced to do that.
Out of 10, like, in comparison to, like, animation.
Nope, too late. Okay, Sam.
Wow, Dylan. Wow.
What did you overall think of it?
I enjoyed it a lot. I don't think it's, like it's definitely up there for me, too, but it's not, like, the best emotionally hard-hitting animated movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But it's up there. Definitely.
Cool.
In comparison to other Ghibli movies, I guess I made a comparison before to like Only Yesterday and From Up on Poppy Hill.
Do you think it's better or worse than Only Yesterday?
I think it's better.
Do you think it's better? I thought you like loved Only Yesterday.
I do love Only Yesterday.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Only Yesterday is like a serial movie, which makes sense because it was like adapted from a manga. It's like in serials and like told in like a bunch of like flashbacks that have a loose connection, but like not like truly like narratively like a connection.
Yeah.
They have like a connection like in the setting and like the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
This I enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed the relationship between Marnie and Anna, and that's kind of what made the movie for me. I don't know if it's my fave Ghibli movie, but it's up there.
Cool.
It's like a number like 3 or 4, maybe 2.
Wow, that's very high. Well, I quickly looked this up, and I actually added this to my Ghibli rankings already. So
wow,
I'm ahead of the curve. So this is like a 9 point, like somewhere between a 9.2 and a 9.5 for me. I apparently liked this more when I saw it than I remember. I have this 7 overall for Ghibli movies, right below the top tier, which is mostly Miyazaki, if not all Miyazaki movies. And then in the secondary tier of love these, but not the best of all time, Marnie, Poppy Hill, Totoro, Lupin, and Only Yesterday. So those are my... And I have this above Only Yesterday. I feel like Only Yesterday is a more meaningful movie, but this one, just the characterization of Anna and the relationship with Marnie is just so well done, and this movie's just so gorgeous looking and emotional. I find it very enjoyable, and I'd highly recommend it for anyone. Do you guys agree? Highly recommend?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So yeah,
I tried to get my mom to watch it, and then she was like, "No," but that's okay.
Get her to watch the dub.
Like the fact that I tried to recommend it to my mom, like it was good.
That's good. Yeah, this is the start of the Oscar watch for the animated category. I would say these are the 2 main contenders right now, Inside Out and Marnie. And I'd say Inside Out has the edge because of the critical response, but this also has had a very good critical response.
It's not going to win.
There's going to be a big push.
Inside Out's going to
There's
win.
actually going to be a good big push for it because it is the last Ghibli movie, and critics do understand that. So
true, but like
it won't win though. I don't think, even though I
Inside Out.
think it's clearly a better movie than Inside Out.
I haven't
Nobody
seen
cares
Inside
about
Out, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Inside Out's also very good, or not very. I don't know, very good, but yeah,
because it's Pixar and it's going to win.
Yeah, well, that hasn't been true all of the past few years.
It's been true many of the years that have happened.
Many of the years, yes, many.
In the past.
I mean, the first animated category Oscar went to Spirited Away
Away
instead of Monsters, yeah. So it has happened before.
But they just don't care.
I mean, it's been a few years.
That's another podcast waiting to happen.
Yeah.
How the Oscars don't care about animated movies.
We will definitely podcast many times about the animated Oscar category, I assume, with this. Hopefully this is the first of our complete Studio Ghibli rewatch and podcasting on. I don't know who's gonna...
Oh, boy.
I assume we'll change the cast up a lot. But yeah, I just feel incredibly passionately about many of these films, and can't wait to talk about them.
So there was a reason why you had us watch all the Ghibli movies.
Like 5 years ago. Yeah.
5 years ago.
That's why, yeah. So
For this
podcast, which I didn't know.
I'm working through the stack.
Working through the stack, yes. Good. We will talk about all of them. Preview, I genuinely think Miyazaki's best films are the best films of all time. So there will be much to be praised and discussed within them when we get to it. So yeah, I think that any other last thoughts on Marnie?
Gay for grandma.
Hashtag gay for grandma.
Hashtag
If you, I will retweet you if you say hashtag gay for grandma. I assume no one has literally ever made a tweet with that before in the history of Twitter. Let's check.
I'll make it. I'll make it before I leave.
Yeah, there's no hashtag gay for grandma has no results. You can. That's going to be the hashtag for this podcast.
Wow.
Discuss it if you specifically for this episode. Anyway, yeah, thanks. I've been Dylan Hysen, Delaney Stovall, Sam Quattro. Quickly, Twitter, Tumblr, Delaney.
Delbury S, but Twitter, like, I don't even use it, but I'll try. And then Guru Korasami on Tumblr. I will definitely see y'all on Tumblr.
Sam?
Twitter is coolmcr, KOOLMCR. No, did I say Twitter or Tumblr right then?
Twitter.
That's my Twitter. My Tumblr is stupidnervous.tumblr.com.
And I'm Dylan_OVA on Twitter and Dylan OVA one word on Tumblr.
I say it Dylanova.
Dylanova.
Yeah, I might put a dash between it. I don't know. If you want to send me thoughts on this movie or on any other Ghibli movie questions, you can do to my personal Tumblr or to our main Tumblr. Find all those links on overlyanimated.com. Thanks for listening, guys. Anything else? Sam, Delaney?
Marnie is adorable.
Marnie is really adorable.
Can't wait to see the dub so I can hear her be
Yeah, I
adorable.
do. I do
Yeah.
watch the dub. And see hear Janora as Marnie.
Woo!
Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.